Welcome back here on the show. This is Prime Morning, and if you just join us here on the show, a very good morning to you, and you're welcome to the show. Now we're going to be looking at the very serious issues that are, being talked about, and in the studio with me this morning, as always, we have the Honorable Timothy Awontirim, and he's a very big member of the family right now, and he's the former MP for Busa North, and he's always here to help us where the conversation is coming from the NDC. And also I have Mr. Saka Salia also joining us this morning from the communications team of the NPP. And so let me welcome them. Gentlemen, very good morning to you, and how are you all doing?
Good morning. We are doing fantastic.
Great. Yeah. Honorable, you are doing what?
Certainly, I'm doing well. I'm healthy, strong, energized, and poised for the day. Mm-hmm. And I thank God for his mercies and favors. Mm. In this economic downturn and quagmire we are in, it takes the grace of God to journey through the day and throughout the week and the month, waiting for the day God himself will speak. Because our leaders have failed us miserably. And we cannot continue to rely on them, but to put our trust in God for his mercies. Okay. So for me, I am beautiful.
All right. So I'm going to begin with Mr. Sackett, and we want to take a look at the Afriyie North by-election and what's both party, stand in terms of chances. Now, on 27th, we're going to have the elections happen, and so there have been some build-up. Now, in the processes of the build-up, we still have Mr. Jachikwesin's, situation to deal with. Now, yesterday he has spoken, and he has said over the weekend, he has said a few things about what his intentions are, and even the fact that if he's even behind bars, he's in cells, the people of Afriyie North will definitely vote for him. He sounded very confident of the fact that the people want him back. Now, I know the NPP will disagree to a large extent, because a lot of work has also gone in there, as a matter of fact. And so I want us to look at the chances over the 27th is just around the corner. He still stands by the fact that the people want him there. Does the NPP believe so, that the people want him to be there, even to the extent that if he's in police station or if he's in cells or if he's in jail, they still will vote for him?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning to my brother and everybody. First of all, I think that by-elections do not follow form gas.
Okay.
In other words, when it comes to by-elections, there are so many things that come to play. It does not necessarily have to be the strength of the candidate, even though the strength of the candidate play a role. In this particular by-election, the last by-election, that was the Kumawu by-election, we all saw how the NPP machine worked. In this one, we know that by-elections, the turnout normally is not as encouraging as the normal elections. But you can see the euphoria, you can see the awareness of the constituents to ensure that they are represented, and not just represented, but represented well. I have a problem with the candidature of Jachikwesin, because this is a man that is undergoing criminal trial. So potentially, he is a criminal. Potentially he could be jailed. And therefore, if you are going to a by-election and you decided that your best bet is to take somebody who could be jailed, then that is problematic. In the sense that this is the same person who, in the face of the law, clearly flouted the law. And then the Supreme Court had to rule, not just the Supreme Court. The High Court ruled in Cape Coast, the Court of Appeal ruled, the Supreme Court ruled, even twice. This was a person that even Parliament itself, the matter of his swearing in, agitated, made Parliament to agitate about it. You remember what happened on the 7th of January and all that.
It's all accounted to where we are right now. And also, okay,
and one would have expected that the NDC would have taken a cue from the fact that in the first place they slept on the fact that the man was not qualified. they knew the rules. That you have to be somebody who has allegiance to Ghana and Ghana only.
But they've debated that to a large extent. They've stated reasons why it happened the way it did.
Those reasons are not tenable. And that was the reason why it was thrown out in the court of law. So all the reasons that they talked about are not court reasons. They are street reasons. That the Electoral Commission accepted me. If the Electoral Commission erred, why? They themselves knew. And the Electoral Commission is not sacrosanct. They are subject to the rules and laws of this country. Justice Kwesi himself knew that at the time that he was filing at the Electoral Commission, he should have renounced his citizenship. Indeed, the renunciation of citizenship means that your renunciation certificate should be in your hands. At that time, the renunciation certificate was not in his hand, but he lied before oath. On oath. He lied on oath that he is a citizen of Ghana and Ghana only. So, if you look at the fact that he is also in opposition, and the fact that if you look at the MPP, the candidate that is coming, so there are a whole gambit of things that come into play in order for the citizens to take an informed decision as to who will best serve them.
And you think the citizens' decision will be for the MPP?
If you look at the MPP is in government. And then the person that will win this particular by-election will carry them up to the 1.5 years. So in 1.5 years, who do you want? A candidate who is in government, who can help you who can help the constituency to get development, or a candidate who is in opposition, who is grappling with the law, and who might even be jailed? Who do you want? That is another thing. And if you look at the strength of the two candidates, this is a candidate, Justice Kwesi is a candidate who has spent the better part of his useful life abroad, and therefore do not know the intricacies, do not know the nuances of how constituency is governed. His other opponent, on the other hand,
Charles Opoku,
has lived with the people, and coincidentally, both of them hailed from the same place, Breku, Asimbreku. And therefore, if you compare the two and their track records, that of Justice Kwesi pale into insignificance, because Charles Opoku has been a philanthropist, not just by name.
But that's also been said with the issue of Justice Kwesi. They've said he's done a lot of.
You cannot be a philanthropist.
I understand his father was, but not him. And all of that.
His father was, but not him. He had run away to Canada, and therefore was minding his business in Canada. Charles Opoku had lived with the people.
So you think Charles stands a better chance?
Cry with them, mourn with them, enjoyed with them, and had played a key role. And another factor that come into play
so that I go
is the factor of Kennedy Japan, the factor of the government development in the constituency. If you look at the development in the constituency, never in the history of the constituency has such development been brought to their doorsteps, including hospitals. Look at this small constituency. They have hospital, they have astroturfs, they have Agenda 111 projects, their roads are being tied. All manner of development, over 150 development projects are ongoing, some completed, and all that. This is a constituency that used to be part of Canada Japan's constituency, and we all know the influence of Canada Japan. And a lot of the development that they now enjoy was instrumented by Canada Japan. And therefore, all these people as we are speaking are in there campaigning day and night, and not forgetting the president himself when the chiefs themselves are giving their support to Charles Opoku. Therefore, I would not expect anything apart from victory for the MPP.
All right. Honorable.
Yes.
It looks positive, chances rise.
You know, I've often said that the Constitution of Ghana is the supreme law of the state. Beyond that, no any other law comes near. All the laws under the umbrella of the Constitution of Ghana. But those who oversee the constitutions are the human beings. And there are some things that are inalienably and clearly stated in the Constitution that you can't take it away from the people. And if you want to take it away from the people, then you kill them. One is the right to make a choice, which is an inalienable right. to determine the type of people who rule you or govern you is an inalienable right. So it does not lie in the mouth of our opponents to determine what has happened there. First of all, you said the guy ran away to, let me start from this point. He said the High Court rule, and there was an issue of his swearing in there. Look, when the High Court ruled, the ruling, how did the MPP get the ruling from Cape Coast? Was it by Bawumia's drones that you brought the ruling to Parliament? And Parliament is a house of records. They must receive the ruling and input it and begin to execute the ruling. You rule against someone at 4 p.m. and by evening you had come there with a ruling that no one's satisfied and you want to implement it. Who does that? And Parliament is a house of laws. And we are implementing provisions of the Constitution. You said that Judge Kwesi's father was a philanthropist, not him. He ran away. Yes, indeed, he ran away. Bawumia ran away to London and was driving minicars, taxis. The Bawumia you are here to defend. He ran away to London and was driving taxis, so not even new taxis, the old ones. Is that running away? He had sojourned to another country to ensure that he can income and have a better lifestyle. In any case,
they said that it's not true.
Who?
The NPP said it's not true.
What is not true?
Bawumia's case.
Was that the one who went with Bawumia to go and present his papers and he was saying it? That Bawumia didn't drive it.
No, he was in school. That's not running away.
No, let him answer the question. Did I go with Bawumia too?
Bawumia said he was in school.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and he was driving taxi. Finished.
While schooling.
While schooling.
So the other one went and was working while doing armed robbery.
He said he's a bugger. He was buggering.
What sort of reasoning is this? You went to school. How come you are driving a minicab? He said it. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Was that with Bawumia?
Do you know holidays?
You should allow me to make my point.
Please go ahead.
One was schooling, one was buggering.
So all these are accounting to your success in the elections?
All, not that.
Okay.
You started from a point. So
you're also building up.
You see, most of your ministers, they were in London and other parts of the world, also driving, and some of them were Zoom Lion people. Obviously, they were doing a decent job to eat. In fact, some of them were washing dead bodies. They were much people. You understand? All in a bid to make money for themselves. So if Judge Kwesi went to Canada or London, wherever that he went for a better lifestyle. In fact, today, people are rushing in their drones under your government to London, especially our professional workers, to have greener pastures because they can no more withstand the fronts and smiles of the economy. People are going in drones. The government has come to drones.
With drone?
Okay, people are moving in drones from here to London and other Western nations because they can no more income for themselves. And you sit here, anytime you have the platform, please try to explain to people where we've come from, where we are now. Don't try to be sarcastic to the people of this country. It's an insult to them.
That's what the NPP does.
And it's a berating of the people when those who voted for you are crying. And I can read it through when the president get the platform. Instead of him to talk to us and explain to us where we came from, where we are here, how come haircuts even from our pensioners, they turn the issue this way, so we'll come after them. Secondly, you said your candidate is a philanthropist. He should maintain his philanthropism. Why does he want to come there? Why must you bring him from another constituency to contest? When there was a candidate who was duly staying with the people, that wanted to file, you people brought the current candidate to contest him. He lost the primaries to your choice. You cannot come here and paint him with white paint. You understand? Now
they just want to put their best foot forward.
Fine, they should say so. They shouldn't come to use adjectives to whitewash him. They should say they want to put their best candidate. It finishes there. Like when the president went and then was commissioning a project that started by John Dramani Mahama, the Japan project. I was talking to a friend of yours who is an MP because he told me that, look, then I told him that, why would you still, it was just a joke, Mahama's way. Then he replied to a team, it's for the people of Ghana, if the president commissioned. I said yes. So the president could have said that it will end there. You don't need to dramatize and make it look as if Mahama is your target. You must always mock at him.
But that has repeated in many other...
You cannot mock at people who bequeathed to you A balance sheet that you used to borrow 13.5 billion euro bonds and squander the money recklessly. You cannot mock at such a fellow. You cannot mock at people. When you are traveling, you go to Terminal 3. The president flies and his people flies through there, and you distributed the shops to your relatives. You cannot mock at such a fellow. You cannot mock at a person who expanded the thermal port, the MPS, and Baumia went to commission and said they would do concrete roads, and he has not put one bag of cement. You cannot mock at such people. You rather praise them and give credit where it is due. You understand? The Gyakye Kwesi case is an interesting case, not just for the electorate of the people of Assin North, but also for the judiciary. The judiciary must be seen to be given rulings that will engender unity, that do not exacerbate the already tense and political divided a society that we have now. That partisan look at it, the judiciary should wall themselves off the politicians. Look, how what is the name? Gyakye Kwesi is being tried for perjury, which is not a high treasonable case. And you are asking him to be marking time, to be daily trotting there, because a political party wants to use you as a conduit to deny the people of Assin North their right of choice, which is inalienable. You want to use all machinations, underground maneuvering to ensure that the people of Ghana do not get what they want. The choice of the people of Assin North for who to lead them and rule them lies with them, and no one can take that away from them.
So it doesn't matter. It still stands a better chance.
It doesn't matter. You see, I was reading the memoirs of Professor Dateba of the Supreme Court. He was the first fellow who got the first class in law before Chachuchikata got his. Brilliant professor and so on. President Akufo-Addo appointed him to the Supreme Court. And in his memoirs, he stated that the ruling of the courts, and the Supreme Court especially, should be a ruling that would bring peace, harmony. It should be a ruling that will not exacerbate an already precarious situation that we are having. All of us think that's so because the judiciary is a mediator. And the judiciary is a point of settling disputes. If the settling of that dispute would bring in unrest, would throw the country into a state of pandemonium, then there will not be a democracy to protect. One, in Sri Lanka, the people of Sri Lanka rejected a government led by Rajapaksa and his people, and no amount of weapons, nuclear weapons or atomic energy can stop the people from moving if they want to remove it from government.
And that will be reflected on 27th elections.
And I'm coming. And that 27th election is going to tell the whole of this country that you can fool people some of the time, cannot fool all the people all the time. As Bob Marley captured it in his song. The people of Assin determines who brought development progress. The people of Assin knows who is the rightful candidate. There's no amount of vote buying. There's no amount of intimidation by the security forces, by the NPP, that would intimidate the people of Assin North from choosing or making the right choice of someone that they know. No amount of mockery talks from you people, no amount of going there and buying people. Look at the regional chairman, he was there. And he wants to build someone. Unfortunately, the lady that passed away, he said he's offering 50 bags of cement. Jesus Christ!
Is helping. So let's move on to the next issue.
He had opportunity to rebut.
You also had the opportunity to. You began.
He had opportunity to rebut me.
You started. You started. So we have three other issues to talk about. So we can't just dwell. We can't dwell. We can't.
He said certain things. I didn't get the opportunity to rebut.
It has to be under 30 seconds because we can't.
No problem.
We can't just be on this issue. There are other issues for us to take a look at. Please.
First of all, he talked about vote buying. We are not buying vote in Assin North.
Have you been seeing
the fact that I rather, on the contrary, I saw the NDC people who go house to house sharing sponge. The video is available.
Who gave them sponge?
Yeah, sharing sponge to the people. Yes. That is one. Secondly,
that was when.
last week. Secondly,
last week.
Yeah. Secondly, to say that some of our MPP people went abroad and was washing dead bodies.
Even one of them used to carry one.
I think that we have to disregard it and treat it with the disdain.
Please, please.
You let me. I beg you. You see, I am saying that the NDC, they are not learning, they are not taking cue from happenings. If you have gone to court and embarrassed yourself, remember the petition. All the noise that they made and then went there and then embarrassed themselves and later Asiedu came and
don't
confessed.
Talk like that. You think
the same thing is happening now.
So I think we're not going to have a conclusion on this one.
The Supreme Court is
let's look at the issue of gentlemen. Let's look at the issue of Atuforsen. Saka.
The laws of the land.
Honorable.
You can say that they should rule based on the fact that.
Okay. So, gentlemen, can we see our viewers? Saka. Our viewers. Honorable. Please. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next issue now. Big C Trading LLC actually telling government to return the ambulances, so they can also bring back the money, and then we all end up that issue about Atuforsen. No, Big C, the company that is involved in the ambulances,
asking government to return
the ambulances, so they also give back the money. So we end the Atuforsen trial. I don't know. Over a couple of days ago, there have been other trials. The witnesses have been in the box. They've all spoken about. Some have denied ever having any interaction with Atuforsen with regards to that and all of that. This is where we've got into right now. You think it's a good call where we've got into right now? Let me start from you, Mr. Saka.
Again, so that I will get an opportunity to rebut again. Wow. No problem.
This guy's been favoring you. If today is given to you,
we have about 3 more to talk about.
No problem.
Why do you always want to rebut?
No problem. Because of your propaganda nature. Anytime you talk, somebody has to come and rebut.
So the people are listening to you.
Yeah, they are listening.
They know what I'm doing propaganda.
Oh yeah, serious propaganda.
Exactly. So
they know. Yeah, I think the Big C was a company that brought. Yeah. And then they were the companies that Atuforsen cleared.
Yeah.
Use some unlawful means in order to give them the money for bringing those trotro buses. First of all, let it be clear to everybody that this matter started when the NDC themselves were in power. Indeed, when the buses came, the NDC government said that they were not going to take those buses, that it was not fit for purpose, it was not ambulances, so-called, and therefore was not fit to be called that. And that was the first thing. And secondly, the channel with which Atuforsen unilaterally, without passing through the regular ways, was something that leaves much to be desired. And therefore, Sheriaiti, who was then the Minister for Health, refused it and said that they even christened it trotro buses, and therefore they refused to take it. Those buses were even in the port for a very long time, and that was the reason why up to now the government has not used it. The government have not used those buses. It therefore was a shameful episode that a government in place rejected its own, a member who procured
those buses.
Therefore, it was just normal that the MPP government, after assuming office, should continue from where the NDC left. It would have been abnormal for us to come and say that, those buses that do not have some of the equipment, all the equipment that needed to be
to make up an ambulance a standard,
to make up an ambulance. Then we will just come and say that it is okay, or even though Atuforsen did some criminal acts, I think that we cannot move on. I think that the laws of this land has to take its course. It should not be that anytime the laws are applied, somebody will come and say, you applied it, and we as political party, we are not happy because of that. You should have applied the law in such a way that everybody will be happy. No. The law, it does not matter whose ox is got. Once the matter is presented and then it flouts the law and it goes against the rules of the law, I think that it behoves on the court to make pronouncement, and it is based on that this ruling, this
trial
prosecution is going on. Unfortunately, the Big C is saying that they will come and pay the €2 million.
Yeah.
And then try
2.3 million.
2.3 million euro, and try to convince the court, the prosecution, to step down the matter. But I think that it is the discretion of prosecution to either continue with the matter, especially when there is a criminal aspect to the whole matter. And more so, you cannot just come and say that, oh, I will pay the money, and then you say, okay, bring the money. Even though, paying the money is also important. I think that sometimes you need to serve, you need to make certain action to serve as example for others who want to commit same issues.
Okay.
And to that extent, I think that the prosecution, in this case, the Attorney General, has the discretion to either accept Big C proposal or not. But let nobody come and play the political card. Invariably, I mean, these days, anytime any politician is being prosecuted, the opponent, the supporters of that political party will just come, hey, this is what do you call it?
Witch
hunting and all those things. But the same people will come and sit here and say that politicians are corrupt, your people are corrupt, your people are corrupt. You turn around, let it turn around. And then those people that you are saying they are corrupt is being prosecuted. Another group will also come and say that this is witch hunting.
That is very typical of politics.
Yeah, and I think that is not healthy.
So it's something that
it is not healthy at all. If you look at it, because there's nobody that can prefer, charges that do not exist.
Okay.
If you prefer such charges, trump-up charges, definitely the person will go through, without being incarcerated and all that. Therefore, when people are being prosecuted, for instance, the execution case, for instance, when the court says that the prosecution has to be daily and all those things, they are here crying. They have forgotten that the court has the discretion to do so, to even sit in the night, weekends or whatever. And more so when the NDC themselves, knowing very well that the matter is before court, still send the same candidate. And do you know what they say through Chachuchika? They say that, let the candidate go and stand, because by the time the prosecution finish, this man would have finished his term.
Let me move
and it is based on some of these things that the court sometimes also take, some of this action. So don't come here and once again, you talk about this.
So in this case, that will be your time. So we're doing 3 minutes.
I don't want him to come here and play the political card. Because I know you. I know all the. I know you know me. I know propaganda, and I can predict their mind.
Let me take his thought on that.
I can predict his mind to come and say that it's politics.
Okay, let me take his thought right
now.
So
you wait and see.
You see, the truth runs marathon, lies runs sprints, they jump. And the truth shall win this marathon. If you started with the truth, you would not need so much time and words to explain yourself. Look, in the case of Judge Kwesi, I think that is the case of a double jeopardy of punishment. One, the guy has been punished enough through denying him of attending to Parliament for 3 years, and beyond those 3 years, everything that goes with a member of Parliament has been denied him. It's another punishment. The people of Asinov equally suffered from that punishment. Now he has been asked to be going to court daily, even under COVID, even when the country is under emergency. People were not asked to be going to court daily. Expeditious trial.
Is he being in his interest?
Would you talk to...
No, but we are relating that to the forcing issue.
No, that is how he related. He ended there. So let me start.
But we've already spoken about that. So I want us to move on.
Why did he then come to that point?
That was exclusive. It was not necessary for us to go back to it.
Domnovo's case was an expedited trial that we were expecting. They never did it. Judge cases, he's been tried for perjury. Perjury is not a crime that you need a whole court to be sitting 24 hours. Major Muhammad died as a result of galamsey. Is the court sitting every day? A lot of people have been at the court cases, serious murder cases and humiliation. They have not been trying daily. Election cases, you are in this country. If one will send a petition to court, was it daily? That was even the presidential. In any case, if they are sin off election,
the presidential petition was daily.
If they are sin off by election doesn't take place, assuming it doesn't take place, Ghana will lose nothing.
Will lose.
What will Ghana lose?
They won't get representation.
You see? And you knew that, and you were hounding him.
Oh, no,
now,
we've got 2 minutes
the
now.
The truth must be told. Why must I have 2 minutes?
Because you use the other minutes to talk about
around somewhere.
Don't let him intimidate you that you should go listen.
No, you are using it.
Okay,
go ahead.
I took Forson's case, just like any other fraud case in Ghana, or allegedly fraud case, involving the taxpayers' money. If indeed the guy goes through the processes of trial and the court ruled that it should be retrieved, it must be retrieved for the people of this country. I have no problems with that. If indeed fair trial is given, he goes through and everything is done. And is it the Red Sea or which company?
Big C.
Big C company says that
LLC.
they want to come in, and then because sometimes the rulings, we must tread cautiously. Is the ruling supposed to benefit the people or punish the one who did it?
Both.
Or both.
Both.
You understand? If it is for that, then I know that the PPA boss, Ajenim Ajay Boatin, has been on trial after the investigations for stashing away millions of Ghana cedis. Under this government, he's still there. They should retrieve that money. If again they still feel that monies have been wasted recklessly, I think that the finance minister, who is Ken Oforiatta, got levies and charges as a result of the Eurobond. He alone is holding 150 million Ghana.
Unlawfully or lawfully?
He should bring it. If we go through the lawfulness, how was it competitively done? You see the procurement will come in, so don't go there.
No, you go to the procurement.
Because there were other banks. In fact, Data Bank was serving as apprentice. They were Taylor, you had a good design. Then the two of them come to learn. Data Bank was learning as apprentice to learn how to source funding from the international market through big like Morgan Chase and all those things. That was why Data Bank and Togba Federal Security were learning, and as at that time they were learning, they gave them a flat rate of $50,000 because they were apprentices. If we're apprentice and we are staying at Medina, you can be giving us lorry fare. So they were not expert in sourcing the funding. It was when he came, he removed Togba Federal Securities, he removed Standard Chartered, Barclays Bank, Morgan Chase and all those things, and made his bank a sole this thing. Was it competitively done? So no, procurement issues will come in.
It's completely easy. Where you are going, I don't think that.
Would you allow this guy to?
He's treading on areas
that's why you must write
he's
down.
treading on areas that he's not confident.
But you let him finish.
You let me finish. I am not confident.
Because all these things you are saying is a lie, complete lies.
Which is a lie?
These things that you are saying.
What did I say?
Oh, you talk about Data Bank being apprentice. They were learning under some companies, and when they came,
when the issue was revealed in Parliament,
please don't go there.
Please,
don't go there.
I said, don't imitate Baumia. I've told you and I've warned you, run away from that guy. He will embarrass you. This thing was a question was asked by the MP for Cape Coast on the floor of Parliament, and it was Parliament that we got to know that it was 150. It was Parliament that we got to know that Data Bank, when they were touting their credentials, that they were sourcing funding for the NDC, they were rather doing apprentice. That alone is criminal. That one is lies. He answered it there on the floor of Parliament. And this was repeated by lawyer Kwebu on another big platform like yours, and you are represented with it never. So he was a apprentice. He wasn't an expertise in sourcing funding for any government, and we even pay him 50,000. That's why I'm mentioning figures.
Pay apprentice 50,000.
Yes, that's why I was mentioning figures.
There is nothing like apprentice in finance.
Please. Government wanted a local institution to also learn, so that we can use our local institutions and banks to source, so that the amount of money we pay to the foreign countries, it will remain in this country. That was the essence.
So they
suggested
they should continue perpetually being apprentices.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that it was done competitively. It went through procurement. Did this current one go through procurement?
As in the Atuforsen situation?
No, in the case of data bank. For the Atuforsen, I finished with the case.
Then let's go for it.
So then so you are just using the other issues that you're talking about to just buttress
people who are to those procurement breaches
should also go through the same trial.
If the court finds out that those procurement breaches takes away the taxpayers' money, effort should be made to retrieve it.
But you know the number of people in courts
under your government.
Well,
what are you talking like?
Are all trying as much as possible to retrieve some of these monies. That's what they've been chasing. They're
so don't be
chasing
talking
people
for the OSP.
No, I'm not talking for you. I'm saying that there have been efforts to ensure some of these cases. Oh, come on.
They say they should be giving us, is it twice reports a year? Have they given their report? Has Parliament received
but that one will definitely.
It has elapsed. They've not given us a report. So Parliament is waiting for their report to see the amount of money they pay. In fact, I want a ruling where if it's still, let's take it, 1,000 Ghana, you are made to pay with interest.
Should that be the same case with that?
So the big C must be within.
Yes.
So you are giving us a point that we should reject. We should reject what they are saying.
No,
they should only pay with
if the law says so, and such monies when they are retrieved, I would want them to put in a sinking fund. It should not be added to the consolidated fund, for it mix up. And these people and money. You can't trust them.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next issue.
I wanted to know.
Let's go.
You
cannot determine what I say.
No, let's move on. Because you say you finished with the subject.
You have to know how to talk. You can't determine what I say.
No. But you say you have finished.
There's another issue. There's another interesting issue that I want us to take a look at, and then we'll wrap up for today. So the issue of politicians using celebrities or public figures for campaigns and eventually, dumping them at the end of the day based on, whatever affiliations they had. Now, Yvonne Nelson has released a book, and in the book she stated that there was a time. She was what?
She's not Yvonne Nelson.
Yes, she's not Yvonne Nelson, yes. So she's released that. In the book, she stated somewhere that at a point in time, some NPP bigwigs were actually telling her, we're actually dragging her into politics, and the whole idea was
advising her or dragging.
Well, they wanted her badly into it, and the whole idea is to contest.
If somebody is advising you,
do you think it was an advice?
Well,
we know how some of these conversations with politicians can. Especially when they want you to execute a certain agenda.
I'm not privy whether.
Now, let me read a tweet John tweeted, and then we'll take it from there. It says, I remember Yvonne Nelson called me sometime back before 2020 elections.
Let him finish. You mentioned
John Mello.
Okay.
So it says that I remember Yvonne Nelson called me sometime back before 2020 elections to tell me someone extremely close to the current president and had asked her to contest in Ayawaso West on the ticket of the NPP. These were her words to me, and I quote, John, I can't do that to you. I told them no. I can't throw away our many years friendship because of politics. So this was the response Yvonne Nelson gave to John.
Yeah, I don't think, this is not even newsworthy. Mm-hmm. You see, when it comes to politics, everything comes to play. There are so many things that come to play. The popularity of the person, his ability to govern the people, is the appearance, the name recognition, and all those things. Those are the things, and then how you are loved by the people. So everybody knows Yvonne Nelson in this country. She has the name recognition. She can be a good leader. At least she was able to organize some successful demonstrations and all that. So if there is anybody within government that saw in her a potential leader or a potential MP and advised her to go for a parliamentary seat, I don't think there is any.
Well, was it not business as usual from a point of view?
After all, even where the person was
the whole idea of we want to destabilize somebody's intentions of contesting.
No. You see?
So we want to
listen to me, especially where he is talking about the Ayawaso West Wagon. Ayawaso West Wagon has always been an MPP stronghold. The NDC has never won that seat when the MPP is.
The why pitch if one?
That's what I'm saying. I think that the person saw in her a potential good leader, just like the current MP. She wasn't even a politician. The husband died, and then
she had to.
We saw that. She has good leadership qualities, and she can be a good leader in all those. So if somebody saw same in Yvonne Nelson and felt that let's even push her to where she can easily win. I mean, Don Jomelo is not a threat to anybody. I certainly can easily win parliamentary over him. Because I don't, let me not even go there. but especially in I was West Wagon, that has always been an MPP seat. If somebody is asking Yvonne Nelson to go there, I think there's nothing.
It couldn't have been anyone else apart from her, knowing the relationship she has with John DeMello at the time.
Oh, I mean, what kind of relationship? I mean,
that's what was rightly mentioned over here. The respondent to John.
It is not enemies that contest elections. A lot of for instance, I mean, the presidential election, Nanado and then Professor Mills, they were mates, they were football mates and all that, but they contested. Okay. There are a lot of people who contest not because they have some antagonistic relationship, but it is because of leadership. Okay. Everybody is struggling to be the leader, and therefore it does not matter the relationship. And essentially, when Jomelo do not even have even a 50% chance of ever winning that seat, why would anybody
interesting do that? Honorable, what do you want to say real quick, and then we'll move on? I've got some messages I'll read in there.
Nanda, you have quoted John Domelo. I also quote Yvonne Nelson. Maybe that might end.
Honorable, you have 3 minutes. I know you'll fight that one too. So let's go.
No, quote it quickly and then we'll see.
You don't determine what I do on the set. You came from home with your own rehearsed agenda to come. So I also some friends and I went to congratulate the president-elect Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, with whom we took a photograph. It is a photograph I regret taking. Unfortunately for Ghana and for those who trusted in him, he has turned out to be a monumental disappointment. Borrowing, corruption, recklessness, spending, he's plunged the nation into economic doom. So this is also Yvonne Nelson.
In what chapter was that? Is it stated? The chapter?
Your thing, where was your chapter? You didn't quote your chapter.
But he's the one asking questions. You are not supposed to be asking
questions. The source is Twitter. Was this Yvonne Nelson's book?
What was your chapter?
Oh, I'm saying that.
He wrote it himself.
Twitter.
This guy
so I quoted that in the tweet. This is a chapter in Yvonne Nelson's book.
He wrote it himself.
I just want to be sure the chapter
from Twitter.
This one says, good morning to you. The truth is only one. It's rather unfortunate that we are supposed to behave as if all is well, but it's not. Most citizens cannot afford to buy fruits to eat because of the price. That is the price of avocado. It's 5 Ghana cedis, which is too much for below average income and to afford. My point is that the government must find a better alternative to beat down prices of seasonal farm products. Honorable. Seasonal farm products down to make it affordable for all. We are advocating that farming should be made very lucrative. Does not mean that its produce should be high. And so that's, do we have other messages? Hernandez actually says, good morning, host. Fidel from Tadi Kwesimintim. Edmond Che is the savior of Asokwa constituency, who is going to bring better and better development to Asokwa. Edmond Che is a vision materializing young man who is the solution to Asokwa problems. Okay, so that will be all for our messages as well. Honorable, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so much for
that quotation from Yvonne Nelson. I am not Yvonne Nelson. When
you didn't tell us when you quoted yours.
Oh, no, that's enough.
No, but he's supposed to answer questions.
No,
and you are supposed to answer.
No, questions.
No, you cannot counter action.
I only wanted to know the chapter so we can all go and read it.
What took you from Twitter?
That will be our conversation for news flash this morning. We'll still have some more coming up. But many thanks to you for coming through. Honorable Timothy, I want to is the former MP for Bulsa North, and he's a member of this family. And of course, another member of this family, Saka Salia, is from the NPP communication team member, also joining us this morning. Gentlemen, thank you so much once again.